Good morning, everybody. If you're clicking on this video, I'm assuming you're a fan of Warhammer lore and many other things. And you're curious about the Salamanders and who did they sire, aka their successors. So, the Salamanders have a lot of things in common with their successor chapters, being their heavy assault, meaning most of their tactics are in your face, gonna stab you while looking at you, and also setting you on fire. But a lot of their chapters also have a few weird things about them. And for some reason, every single one of these chapters, including the Salamanders, are fleet-based. AKA, most of them don't have a whole home world to go back to, so they'll just grab someone from off the streets of like some random hive city to make them a space marine. Which is kind of cool though. So, the first one up are the Iron Drakes. Who are the Iron Drakes? After researching, they're basically just like a Salamander's artillery team. Auxiliary, not artillery. They do use artillery though. But they get confused for the regular Salamanders fairly a lot. I mean, look at their shoulder pad or pauldron, and share a lot of color similarities. There's not really anything too special to say about them since they've only really shown up in recent lore, which is the complete opposite to say about these guys, the Black Vipers. So, also technically I couldn't find their official shoulder pad. This is their old one before the 10th edition codex. So, the Black Vipers are the Salamanders sent in a chapter master for them to basically have them. So every single successor chapter for the Salamanders follow the word of Vulcan, or the pyromancy cult. Pyromancy cult. There we go. Basically, it's Vulcan's codex. A lot, but way less than like Gilman's like adhere to the Codex brothers. It's like, no, it's like a general guide, just don't be an asshole. So they sent in a chaplain and a chapter master to go talk to these guys. We have no idea what happened to them, and the Black Vipers have told the Salamanders to fuck off on multiple occasions, which is weird. So, and are also one of the few chapters that are also fleet based, and weirdly enough, they're the agent of Barry Sawyer's Call, the tech marine who never told Salamanders they had successors, which is weird to me. That also, that's probably the reason why they haven't the chapter master and the chaplain sent to go initiate them hasn't come back. The next one's up is the Covenant of Fire. These guys are after my own heart. I love these guys with so much. Essentially, there are lore masters for the Salamanders. Their entire chapter is built around collecting pieces of ancient lore and text, and making sure that the Greater Imperium gets to read it. So they're essentially book nerds with the strength of a fucking T-Rex. And it's so funny, and I love them. When I was doing the research for this video, they showed up, and I was like, they're lore masters? My guys. Quote from the 10th edition codex: the Covenant of Fire gave knowledge of the Imperium, for they fight to seek out the lore wherever they can find it, hoping that this information can burn bright in the darkness. Controversially, though, they do appear in here. They are stupid. they actively know which stuff is like also cursed. So if they find a piece of literature that's like Zinch coded, they'll burn it. They have no problem. It's like they're lore masters, but they're also not stupid, which is amazing. For our next chapter, the Dark Krakens, which I was actually kind of disappointed. They're one of my favorite successor chapters because canonically, the initiation from neophyte to full space marine is a very big thing. Usually, throughout the chapters, it's very common that neophytes have to prove themselves on battles before becoming full-on space marines. So, before they officially become a neophyte, same for the Salamanders. They have to go kill for the Salamanders, they have to go kill a salamander, which on the homeworld of Nocturne is the size of 5 Toyota Tacomas put together and weighs 3 times as much as them put together. And they had to come back with the Salamander's hide or teeth. The Dark Krakens, their homeworld is one island. I'm not joking. Is one island with one high city on top of it. But it is cool because their entire the entire culture around the Dark Krakens is hunting. They're hunters. They're meant to protect this one island. And during the night, pretty much all of their homeworld is like bioluminescent, meaning you can go underwater, kind of like Sanaka, where it's not too dark and you can usually see. And once it starts to get deeper, a lot of the initiates are told to go jump into the water, which during the day doesn't really have the bioluminescence. So when they start to go deeper, they can't see shit. And hunt a actual Kraken. I'm not joking. Is canonically, they are told to jump into the water with a giant fucking Kraken. It is confirmed, like, is a Kraken the size of like a fucking small cruise liner, to steal one of its teeth and come back. Sounds very Space Wolfy, probably. And quote from the 10th edition Codex. Nectis, their homeworld with wild seas and bioluminescent and megafauna, shows its population's greatest power, the power of hunting through collaboration. And one of my favorite chapters, the Black Dragons are a close second to the Dark Krakens. This is what happens when a Blood Angel and a Salamander decide to make out. The Black Dragons are an assault force. They are built for close combat and part of one of my favorite foundings in the Imperium, the Curse Founding, where other chapters like the Lamenters have cursed luck and other guys have weird mutations. These guys are the Wolverines. These guys were given the special mutation of Bone Claws, which is so badass. So, the mutation is weird because it depends on the individual. Some start to gain horns on top of their heads, but most usually have it on their arms. And they do have to specially build their ceramite armor around the bone structures. So a lot of the times when you see horns on top of their helmet, that's usually connected to their skull. And a funny little thing is they were at the War of Armageddon. And they share, and it's my favorite thing that they share with every other Successor chapter. They're also kind. They're noticeably nicer to civilians that they even had a joke. Quote, "Brother, let me show my helmet instead. Your ugly mug would just make her cry." And as both Black Dragons laughed, his brother removes his helm and shows the girl that he's in fact human, or at least something close. The Black Dragons are some of my favorite units because they don't let their mutation dictate who they are. The Inquisition has put like bounties on them to basically ask, "Are you guys heretical or chaos corrupted?" And it's like, "Dog, we're fucking Wolverine. Do you want to mess with us?" They've been investigated like multiple times, but they never show any signs of heresy, and we're the most loyal chapters in all of the Imperium. The Black Dragons, my boys. And one of my other slowly favorites, because they are friends with the Space Wolves, is canonically, and it's really funny, the Dragon Spears. The Dragon Spears were also part of the Ultima Founding, and were separated during the Great Rift. Being on the right side of the rift, being separated from everyone else, and one of the few chapters that has only really showed up like decently recently, and gang up with the Space Wolves on multiple occasions. They were there on the they were there with the Space Wolves, fought the Great War. Basically, Gaskel Thraka started getting crazy in the Space Wolves territory, and the Dragon Spears showed up. And I should share the meat, one of the toxic meats they have with the Space Wolves. It is one of the funniest facts I know, and I hope you enjoy it. To backtrack a little bit though, the Ultima Founding is the most likely guess. There are rumors that they were here during the second founding, to the Curse Founding, to the 32nd Founding. It's weird. But our last chapter that we'll cover today, the Storm Giants. Allegedly. I do have to put that is the Storm Giants are a alleged chapter that are completely fleet based, and to go back, for some reason they're even taller than a normal salamander, where a Space Marines sit at like 8 to 9 feet. Average salamander sits to like 10 to 11, where a Storm Giant is canonically around 12 to 13 feet, literally almost the exact same size as a Terminator. And they actually have a genetic trait that has been questioned by the Inquisition, Belisarius Call, and many other chapters. So, the gene organ that lets Space Marines learn the different tactics of their Primarchs is called the Bescula. Yeah, the Bescula. Basically, it gives some information of how to fight, basic tactics, and how to do it. For some reason, the Storm Giants have a mutation that makes their fighting prowess like even stronger, meaning they learn how to fight faster. So if let's say a Tau brings in a railgun, they'll figure out that the Tau's railgun only shoots every other 5 seconds, and then run at them at full speed between those 5 seconds. It is funny to think about. And, quote from the Teflon District Codex, the Storm Giants have fought in several of the greatest battles of the Imperium and some of their most pivotal wars. During the Third War of Armageddon, they displayed their physical strengths even for Space Marines. Many have cited that their gene seed is mutated in one of the best ways possible. Many basically their gene scientists have fully put in requests, like formal requests to the Storm Giants, asking if they can research it. The Storm Giants have canonically said "fuck off" every single time. It's a little weird. They're not really sure why they don't want them to fully fulfill their chapter or research their chapter. But those are the chapters we know most about. A lot of successor chapters aren't built for actual like lore. They're just kind of like there's thousands of them. But this is the end of the video since there's not really else I could talk about. But if you made this far, that means you enjoyed. And if you have any successor chapters you want me to try to do a deep dive, or any chapters that you want me to go over their most popular successor chapters, let me know. And if you like this video, please drop a subscription or a like if you want me to do more. If not, I don't care. This is your friendly neighborhood deep sea Grom. Stay curious, everybody, on this deep sea.